Let's take you to other stories that are taking place now. Midrand residents are still grappling with an irregular water supply due to ongoing challenges at the Palmiet pump station and Rand Water's Zuikerbosch treatment plant. Johannesburg Water says recent power trips at the facilities have contributed to the disruptions. While water tankers have been deployed, residents say the shortages are making daily life difficult. Newzroom Afrika's Katleho is on the ground for us this morning and joins us live. A very good morning to you, Katleho. Just explain to us what the situation is like there right now.
Good morning, Katleho, and good morning to our viewers. Certainly in Midrand, it's been a challenging week where the residents have had to resort to alternative measures like getting buckets and going to tankers in order to get water. And all of these problems really started, well, there were problems back last year in December as well, where a number of days the residents of Midrand did not have water. But this year in particular, it started on the 26th of January, where at the Palmiet pump station, there was a power failure and it affected, since then, it's been affecting about 5 reservoirs. And it's really been difficult for residents as they wait for the officials to fix the problems. And then the water supply, unlike electricity, comes back very slowly. And so during that time, residents have to be patient, but also officials then having to deal with residents who choose to fill up buckets as soon as they do have water supply. So it's been a push and pull between, the areas, officials as well as residents as they deal with the water challenges throughout the area of Midrand. But I do have with me Saras, who's one resident here and who's seen the challenges throughout since last year. Saras, perhaps you can tell us this week, how has it been looking and how has the sentiments been in the area regarding water?
Okay, so Katleho, obviously it started off with a lot of frustration because residents have been without water for 6 out of 7 days in the week. And so Monday morning when residents woke up, there was a lot of frustration. There was anger at the municipality because we didn't know when water was coming back. We didn't know how long this cut was going to last. And people just needed water to get to work, to do simple things at home. And, even the schools were closed. Businesses like salons and car washes were struggling because there was just no water. And we didn't know what to do. So what residents did was actually just take to the streets on Tuesday to say, please, can we have water? We really need water. We don't want tankers in our area. We want water.
Yes. So maybe, Sarah, you can take us through the communication you've received from the municipality since then. What did that communication look like?
Look, Katleho, the communication was very scarce with the municipality. It was essentially an update in the morning and an update in the evening. Maybe, if we were lucky, an update throughout the day, in the middle of the day. But that communication was just really a standard email saying, these are the issues. We're having issues at the Palmiet pumping station and Klipfontein, but we are working on it. But it was the same email every day. It was just the date that was being changed and the day that was being changed. And obviously there was communication around reservoir levels, but that also maybe once or twice a day. And through all of those days, those reservoirs were in the red. There was no hope of when that water was coming. And, that was the biggest problem for residents,
And I mean, if one looks at some of the commentary, social media, people just talking about now Midrand has become synonymous with having these water outages. As a resident, how does that make you feel if you see that it's becoming a trend almost, if one can say?
It's very frustrating because, to be honest, every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is open a tap to see if I have water because we don't know when the water is going to go out. If it does go out, we don't know when it's coming back. I mean, sometimes to fix a simple pipe leak takes 3 days. The last time in December, we had maintenance plan for 48 hours. That in some areas lasted up to 7 days. And there's no contingency plans in place. The water tankers are just an afterthought if they do come around to the area. And even when they do, there's not enough water tankers. There's thousands of residents in Midrand, and sometimes the queues are so long. People are waiting 2 and 3 hours just to collect a bucket of water, which is very frustrating. And then this time around, it was the same thing. The power went out at Palmiet pumping station, as you say, and it came back on for a day, and it was out again for another 4 days. So Midrand is just, people pay rates and taxes. We pay our water bills. But it's like the authorities don't care what happens, because there was no communication from them. There was nobody on the ground to say, you know what, there's a crisis, we will help you. Can you just give us some time? Please bear with us. There was nothing of that sort. So people are just left alone to just go out and find water on their own, and not knowing what's going to happen from day to day.
Yes. And I guess just a last one, do you have water now, and is it steady now that you have some supply?
Yes, I have had water since Tuesday, actually, so the water did come back on Tuesday, and it has been steady. I haven't had an issue since then, but I did fill up my my buckets and my bottles just to make sure that if it does happen again, I do have a supply. The other areas around me, there were communities up to 2 days after I had got my water, still hadn't had water, and even when they did have water, the pressure was low, or it was intermittent. It was coming and going because the reservoirs are still low, and Joburg Water is trying to, you know, get them filled up again. So it's still very much uncertain at this point. You know, there's no telling whether next week things are going to change, or we're still going to have a stable water supply.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. So Katleho, you've heard it there from one resident, Sarah's just describing the issue around water, that so far, yes, it's back in some areas, but it's intermittent and it's not regular. And also there's that fear that water will be gone again, and so you really do see people filling up buckets and making sure that they do have water supply in case, you know, another supply issue hits. So certainly an uncertain time here in the area of Midrand, but officials are working on it.
Certainly frustrations, especially when it comes to that inconsistency and the instability. But there, the residents saying at least they've had water since Tuesday. Katleho Sekhotho out in Midrand, bringing us the latest with regards to the water woes in that area.